Hey, what's going on, family? What's going on? How you doing? We gotta wait for this thing to kick in, but nonetheless, man, it's your boy Derrick Casey coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. Super excited to be on this video with you guys tonight. I just had something on my mind and on my heart. I know everybody's, keeping up with the presidential numbers and watching out what's going to happen with the presidency and our government and what's going to happen with our economy. But I really want to come and talk to you guys today because I'm a big person that love quotes. I'm always looking for quotes and different things that could really touch me, but when I get quotes, I don't just read them. I try to internalize them in a way that I can like use it to, for my own personal need, but to be able to impact other lives with quotes and how my interpretation of quotes. So I wanted to come on here, man. I got my drink. I just want to come on here and talk to you guys for a little bit and share some things with you that I'm hoping that really opens your eyes, okay? Because for so long, man, we've been stuck in this system. As I'm looking at the presidential race and everything that's happening in our economy and been happening over, 2020, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And this quote is very relevant to what's happening, okay? And the quote is, and you can write this down, I'll say it a couple of times so that way you can write it down for yourself. But if you give people the power to feed you, you give the same people the power to starve you. Okay? Let me say that one more time. If you give people the power to feed you, you give those same people the power to starve you. Okay? And I remember when I first heard this quote. I was talking to a lady about 3 months ago or so. We were on a conversation, and she dropped that quote right there. And I kid you not, it was just one of those things that like the context behind the quotes and everything. But when somebody put it into like a different set of words, it just hits different. And when I heard that quote, it fired me up. Like to no end, it fired me up when I heard that quote. If you give people the power to feed you, you give the same people the power to starve you. Because that's what's happening in our economy right now. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because nobody planned on this pandemic coming along. Nobody planned on not having a job, being able to make money to provide for their families. Nobody seen this coming. But we are feeling the effects of this whole pandemic, that we're in right now. And it's just so crazy because nobody still, like, people are still waiting around for our government and our president to make things right, change the economy. Like, that's going to be the secret sauce to get us out of these financial prisons that we've been in for so long. And it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen because the system was never designed for us to win. To be honest, it was never designed for us to win. And it all started back when we was in school. It's so crazy that now that I've been in my business for over a year and a half and really been educating myself when it comes to like the rules of the wealthy and how the money game works, it's like we've been part of this game the whole time. From the time that we stepped into school when we were younger, they were priming us up to be in the system, right? So when you got to school, you had the one teacher that was in command of everything, telling you when to come to school, what classes you had to take, when you could go to the bathroom, all of these different things. And we followed this same trend for many years, from grade school to middle school to high school, even into college, to get us out in the working world so that way we could do the same thing that we did in school, right? To work for a boss that is the controller of everything and that can tell you when you're supposed to come to work, when you're supposed to clock in, when you could take vacation, when you could take sick time to be with your babies. It's all been part of the system that we've been in for so many years. We've been in this system so many years. And the thing is, we've been in this system for so long that so many people are programmed in the system that it puts fear in them to think about doing anything different because this is all they know. The system is all that they know. That's what we've been taught. That's what's been instilled on our brains. That is all we know. So when you go and you talk to someone and share some things with them that can help them break those chains and do something different, they gonna shoot that down because they become so used to the struggle and everything that this system has created for us that nothing else outside of that makes sense. Nothing else outside of that makes sense. And I'm gonna give you for an example. I'm gonna give you for an example. I was watching the news, and I usually don't watch the news, but with the whole presidency and the voting and everything that's going on, I've been paying a lot more attention to what's happening in our economy. And I seen something that really bothered me tonight. Something that really bothered me. They were going through, they were talking about some of the states that are legalizing marijuana, which is cool. But the one thing that bothered me was in Florida, they were talking about increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Okay, to $15 an hour. Now I know you guys are probably like, well, that's a good thing, Derek. Why are you bothered by the fact of them raising minimum wage? Okay, let me explain to you guys. See, the picture is bigger than just the $15 an hour. Okay, because that's something that can be helpful and put a little bit more money into the households. But if you still don't understand the rules of the wealthy and how the money game works, that $15 an hour isn't going to change anything in your life. It's not. It's not going to change anything in your life, because here's the thing, guys, we are in a recession right now. We're in a recession. So when this economy starts to turn around and maybe things will start getting back to normal, all the losses that we took is going to increase everything around us. Taxes are going to go up. Inflation is going to skyrocket. The cost of living in most areas is going to increase. All right. So just by increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour, if your money, you know what I'm saying, if your money is not matching up to what's going to happen when the taxes increase, when the inflation drives up, you know what I'm saying, the cost of living rises, you know what I'm saying, that little $15 an hour ain't gonna help nobody. But once again, the system is at work. The system is programmed. I seen a bunch of people celebrating because they've been working minimum wage jobs, just trying to make ends meet, keep food on the table, and they don't understand that they are not in control. They still don't understand it. So they think that that $15 an hour is going to change everything in their life. That is going to be the answer that they've been waiting on for years. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not. It's not going to be anything different than what you have right now. There are families out there right now making 40, 50, $60,000 a year, still struggling with families, still struggling. Now, before a pandemic, was struggling. So now what do you think that $15 going to do for you and your family in the middle of a pandemic? And then when things start to increase, if you at that same $15 and it's not increasing, guess what? You gonna drown. Now you don't gotta believe me. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to believe me. You could you could brush this to the side. Oh, he don't know what he talking about. I'm excited about this $15 an hour. We're gonna be making some money, whatever the case. But that just goes to show what this system has done to so many people. Okay? Because once again, if you give people the power to feed you, you get the same people the power to starve you. And that's exactly what our government has been doing for so long. Don't believe me? Here's a case in point. When this pandemic happened, the government decided to come through and feed you, right? Giving some of the people that lost jobs an additional $600 on top of their unemployment, just to help make things a little bit easier. So that way they had the money to start paying rent and mortgages and catching things up in bills and doing those type of things. Everybody was happy. They was getting the extra 600 bucks. Some of you guys that were receiving the extra $600 a month was making more money than you was making at your job. So that was a huge blessing for you guys. A huge blessing, right? But then all of a sudden, months go by and you're getting this money and you're all excited, and none of you guys prepared yourself for the worst. You didn't take none of the money and try to invest and get that money making more money for you. because you didn't understand it. We was never educated on those things. So you had that money, you were paying things up, and you were just living the life. Things were cool. You ain't have to work. You receiving this money, everything back. Everybody kick back, just chill out, right? So what ended up happening, right? They ended up going back and they started to reduce the amount that you were getting. So once again, that brings me to my quote. If you give people the power to feed you, you give the same people the power to starve you. So the same people, the government that fed you guys and gave you the extra $600 so that way you can at least survive during this time, came back and said, okay, we've been giving y'all too much money. Let's take some of that back. So now they are slowly getting back to starving you because they're taking money away from you and your family. And then all of a sudden, bam, they decide to take it away. Okay. Now, hanging out in the wind, we got people got stimulus checks that came through. Very helpful. $1,200. People were excited, but that was a one time thing that came through for a lot of people, which was cool. But then guess what? The $1,200 ran out, and now they took the $600 away from you, right? So these are the same people that gave y'all the money that's taking it back. Now check this out. Now people been looking for when the next stimulus is going to come out. People been waiting for months, hearing the different stories in the news, the back and forth between the parties, can't come to an agreement on when you gonna get a stimulus check, money to help you and your family keep a roof over your head, food on the table, making sure that you guys are good. You guys been sitting back, waiting to see when the stimulus check come. I'm gonna show you how crazy it is. Them same people that y'all gave the power to feed you got your financial situation in a chokehold, and they've been using it as leverage to gain political gain at your expense. They got your financial situation in a chokehold, using your financial situation as leverage to gain political gain or power or whatever you want to say. Yet y'all still sitting around thinking that the government got your back, thinking that the government is gonna come through, no matter what president gonna come through, that they just gonna change the world and y'all gonna be living the lavish life. And I'm here to tell you guys, man, I'm here to speak truth. I'm here to speak truth because I've been through things. I've been through the struggle. I understand what it is, man. And it wasn't until I started educating myself and I got a team of experts that started helping me out that really opened my eyes to what I've been missing out on for so many years. You guys wonder why I get so passionate when I get on here and I share this information with people, because this is the information they've been keeping from us for years. Keeping from us for years, guys. The reason why we've been living paycheck to paycheck, the reason why we've been overpaying in taxes, the reason why we've been dealing with bad credit, the reason why we've been buried under debt, the reason why the majority of Americans at the age of 65 don't have $5,000 in their account to even retire and enjoy the fruits of their labor for all the years that they put in. Because the system was never designed for us to win. It was never designed for us to win. And the only way to overcome that, guys, is that you gotta break yourself away from the system. You gotta stop being so dependent on government officials and the president to decide your fate financially in life. You gotta put an end to all of that. You gotta be able to step outside of that to see the bigger picture. And that's the reason why me and so many other leaders come in here and pour into you guys in these videos day in and day out, in hopes that one day you guys will wake up and say, holy crap, I can't believe that I've been subjecting myself to this type of lifestyle when there's so much opportunity outside of this. I'm telling you guys, because during this pandemic, because I said yes to an opportunity, so many other people said yes to opportunities and decided to start building on their own. They haven't had to feel the effects of the pandemic. They didn't have to stress about where the money was coming from to pay bills because their money was increasing. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, this is your chance to rescue yourself. This is your chance. And too many of you guys take this for granted. Y'all sit back and y'all continue to wait and thinking that, that this government gonna come save you. They're not. You can see it right now. Y'all still been hanging on the edge waiting for the stimulus check. Stimulus information been sitting on the desk. Hasn't been signed yet because they can't agree on it. Because they trying to make sure that the money they give you ain't going to affect them. Right? That's how it is. Because here's the thing, guys. Here's the crazy thing about it. The government officials that are in control of your finances, right? The ones that are deciding if you get the extra money on unemployment or if you get a stimulus check, guess what? Their salaries have not been affected by any of this. They still living good. They still got homes and investments. Their kids are still going to the best schools. They not having to deal with none of that. They not worried about no stimulus check because they don't need it. They making great money at the expense of your financial situation. Dangling that stimulus check right in your face. Well, it's coming. It's coming. Just keep waiting. It's coming. We just got to work out some details. They've been working out details for months. They're supposed to get that stimulus check out before the election. Guess what? Election time is here. We almost gonna find out who our next president is. Still dangling. So how long you think it's gonna take for them before they come through and say, okay, now we got it right. We're gonna get you guys some money to help you guys out. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, guess what's still coming? Your bills are still coming. Your mortgage and rent is still due. Your car payment is due. Your kids still got to go to school. You got to still keep food on the table, clothes on your kids' back. But you think they think they pushing the pedal to the metal for you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So when I think about this quote, if you give people the power to feed you, you get the same people the power to starve you. That's exactly what we're seeing in our economy right now. So many people dependent upon the system, so many people dependent upon the president, so many people dependent upon the government that they're afraid to step outside of that to do what they got to do. I'm gonna give y'all for an example. Where I'm from, you know what I'm saying, small little town, everybody know each other. The system it's so sad because they get people in the system. It's like almost like people are incentivized to not want to work. I remember back when I was living back home, I remember people that were just excited about living off of welfare. Now, I don't have nothing against that because when I was coming up, we had welfare. We were short on money and had tough times and things like that. So I'm thankful to the things that the system did help us at in a time of need, but it wasn't like we wanted to be there. It was because we truly needed it. But the system got people heads so messed up that they brag about being in the system. Oh, I'm getting $500-$600 on the EBT card every single month, right? Or oh snap, you know what I'm saying? My house paid for. I ain't working or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it make me think to myself, you know what I'm saying? The system is definitely just trying to keep a group of people, keep their hold on people because think about it. Think about this. If you are getting more for doing less, why would you ever want to do more, right? I mean, it just don't make sense. And that's one of the biggest things that I saw when I was coming up. And I was like, I never want to be a part of that because you're never in control. You got to sit around and wait every month for a payment. So all them weeks in between, you ain't got no income coming in. Like it's just crazy. Guys, we got so much opportunity in this country to be able to start building things for ourselves, creating more opportunities, and being in more control of our money. I'm just telling you that. You don't have to believe me. You can continue to sit around and wait, but there's so much opportunity in in this country to be able to do that. I mean, think about why so many people come from other countries to want to come to America because of the freedom of being able to come here and build and create and be innovators and do different things. I mean, if you go to big cities right now, what do you see in those cities? Communities, right? Little Italy's, Chinatowns, you know what I'm saying? All these little communities that come in and they build businesses, have their own banks, so that way they can start building up that income, that revenue that they drive back into their communities, right? So that creates more opportunities for people to have jobs and work and continue to keep the money in there. They don't be worried about what's going on the outside of them. They come here and take advantage because in the other countries, they don't have that luxury. They don't have that luxury to be building at their leisure and doing different things and making all the money they can make and taking advantage of the tax laws and all of these. They don't have that luxury in the other countries. So they come to America to find that freedom, the freedom that our own people take for granted. Been taking it for granted for years. And it's not your fault though, right? It's not your fault because we were never educated. I know when I was coming up, my parents, they never taught me that because from their era in time, they were never taught that. They were taught to work hard for somebody, save as much money as you can, right? They were never taught about investing or the importance of having good credit. I mean, they knew they had to have good credit, but they didn't really know the true meaning of having good credit and how you can leverage your credit. They didn't understand taxes. So the meanwhile, while they were working all this, my pops was working themselves to the bone, giving away damn near 30% of his income to the government in taxes because he didn't understand the tax game, buried under debt. So now when you start, dealing with those things where you're overpaying in taxes, you got bad credit, you're buried under debt, you ain't thinking about investing for your retirement, which means that your family is left with debt instead of income to help them get through once you're long gone. Like I said, I just want to come here and talk to y'all today. I want to come talk to y'all real today because it was something that was on my mind. It just I see so many people who are just so dependent on this system, and like my whole wish, in every video that I have, that somebody gets this message, that somebody goes and just does research and educate themselves on the information that we've been missing out on for years, and just come back and say, man, thank you for just opening my eyes to checking this out, to seeing the bigger picture now. That's the reason why I do these videos. Starting a YouTube page where I'm gonna be highlighting a lot of things and just really bringing things to light for you. So the stuff that you're not getting in schools, the things that your kids are not getting in schools, you'll be able to get that information because see, the thing is that this information I share with you guys is not just about you as an adult, but it's about what we can give to our children. Me being a parent of four beautiful babies, if I didn't educate myself, I would have been teaching my kids to do the same things that I've been doing, which would have put them in the system, working for somebody else for the rest of their life. And no telling what would have been happening in this economy with everything going on. So I'm thankful that God woke me up enough and connected me to people that taught me some things that have helped me and my family on the right path to doing what we got to do so that way I can come take that same information I learned and come educate y'all with the same information. Because it all starts with information first. But it's what you do with that information that counts. I could talk till I'm blue in the face, sharing this information, waking you guys up, dropping knowledge and dropping facts on you. But if you walk away from this video and continue doing the same thing, then that information was worthless. It was worthless. It's time for you guys to wake up. It's time for you guys to wake up and stop being a prisoner to the system. Stop being a prisoner to the system. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you guys because that quote just meant so much to me. And I want you guys to remember this quote. Write this quote down. If you give people the power to feed you, you give the same people the power to starve you. Let me say that one more time because I want that to ring in your head. I want you to internalize it. I want it to hit your soul. I want you to get it in your brain. If you give people the power to feed you, you give the same people the power to starve you. Stop giving control to people to starve you and your family and stand on your own 10 toes. Stand strong and go out here and be fearless and go for what you want, and stop waiting for a government or president that don't give a damn about y'all. As you can see with what they're doing, because they're starving the people right now by taking money away from the unemployment, taking those stimulus checks away and dangling it over their head. Oh, it's coming and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, people are losing their homes, people are losing their lifestyles. Everything is going on. It is time for you guys to wake up. It is time for you guys to wake up. Take that quote. I'm telling you, write it down and read it every single day. Because that, when you start to internalize it, will change the way you look at this world, at your life, and what you need to do to to just come out of this whole thing on top. But what I also encourage you to do is, when you start to figure it out and it makes sense, reach back and grab somebody else. Pull them away. Because the only way that we gonna break this system, it starts with us. It starts with us. And I'm leading from the front. We got so many people leading from the front to show you a different way. All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Got my drink. I want to say cheers to all of you guys for just taking time out your schedule to listen to this. If you listening to this live, man, I appreciate all of you. If you listening at this on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know. If this message really hit home for you, man, listen. Let's make this thing go viral. Click the share button. Take 2 seconds. Click that share button and let somebody else hear this message. Get this video out everywhere, because people need to hear this, man. This is not a game anymore. It's time to stop playing with your financial situation, and it's time for you to rise up above all the craziness that's going on. And like I said, it just starts with information. So if you guys want to learn how, I can help you guys, and really start putting you and your family in position, all you got to do is hit me up. I'll send you some information so that way you can check it out for yourself. This is the very information that came into my world when my financial situation was upside down, and now I'm in position to do so much more. I'm not overpaying in taxes no more. You know what I'm saying? My credit score is jumping up. Me and my wife are finally on the verge of purchasing our first home in the next 6 to 8 months. Debt is being eliminated, and we already got things started for our retirement and our kids' college fund, guys. I am just truly blessed that I seen this information what I did, and I want to be able to share it with you guys. This may or may not be for you. I'm not here to beg, plead, or anything. I just want to make you aware and let you know that the help that you've been looking for, the answer that you've been looking for, has been out there. And I'm going to do everything in my power to keep it in your face until you just finally realize I need to look into this. All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Derrick Casey from Dallas, Texas, and I'm signing off. I look forward to talking to y'all soon. Peace.